Recently, some people I know, they've run into a bit of a pickle. I think they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. And basically, everybody's all for someone standing truth to power until it affects them. A few things I've learned in life is that one is that when you lie, it only makes more lies. And when people produce conflicting narratives of the truth, then someone is lying. And when I say narratives of the truth, I don't mean that multiple people are telling the truth. It would be as if I said 2 + 2 = 4, another person said 2 + 2 = 5. Those conflicting pieces means at least one of those is false. And it may not be willing, but I would say that once you start having 3 or 4 people or 5 people with conflicting narratives, there's not much of a reason to do that unless someone's not telling the truth or they're trying to get out of a mess. I commend people that speak truth to power when needed. And I would be a hypocrite myself if I did not believe that. Recently, I was not brought into conversations I perhaps should have been, but that's another story. Adults deserve to hear the truth, as do young adults, as do children, as do teenagers. That's the goal. Truth is something that has proven to be advantageous over time. It's helped civilizations proceed forward, and that's why it has become a tenet of many societies, because it produces good outcomes. The word has to mean something. Transactions can occur. Crops can't be sold. People can't interact. Friends can't be made. Trust can't be kept without truth. And telling lies undercuts that whole process. When young people, myself included when I was younger, are not given the truth, they will try to find it. That's the hope. And that narrative could drift into what young people feel is true. May not be perfectly true. But young adults that are bright will craft a narrative that fits that truth. Throughout history, people have done that. Early peoples felt the sun revolved around the earth because that was a truth that they created to assist with the observation. Young people will do that, but with social media, it will happen much more quickly. And younger people are much more engaged, and they can be engaged in ways that are outside the realm of school or outside the realm of parents. So more important than ever, young people need to know the truth and to know that others want it. When adults lie, it cuts out a level of trust. All right. And young people, if they're not given an avenue to vent or to speak their feelings, they will make a way to do that. I had written about it. It's not meant to be literal. It's a figurative thing, but, young people will explode dynamite into rock and scream into the void to hear their echoes if that's what they have to do. if that's the truth they need. It's what people do. The echoes come back and they feel better. There's an African proverb that says that those who are not young people, who are not children, who are not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And that is the same for adults, but with children, young people are much more in tune with their emotions. They have a lot less to lose. Adults in a certain age range don't have that freedom because adults have to keep their jobs and put food on the table for most things. There are things that adults will sacrifice, such as jobs in the most pressing of circumstances, but the survival instinct to feed family is often takes precedent over items that may not be of critical importance. So sometimes adults will have to bow out. And then you get the older folks who have nothing to lose, and hopefully one day I'll be old and who knows what the heck they'll say, right? Adults can be all over the place because they got nothing to lose at that point, much like young people. But unfortunately, older folks are stuck in a time that may not be as relevant to young people, so they oftentimes try to help, but in any event, the older folks. But young people deserve the truth, and if they don't get it, they will try to find it, and they will craft a truth that fits what they believe and what they see in their observations. And if they don't get an avenue to speak to what they believe is a concern, they will make an avenue. And the avenue may be a lot more public than people want. But if it makes an adult uncomfortable what children say, then the adult is the one having to do the soul searching to ask the question, why? You can't just be angry at a young person for saying something without doing the searching. Why does it make you angry? Does it make you angry because you wanted it hidden? Does it make you angry because it's the truth and it's embarrassing? Does it make you angry because of, well, the answer could be anything. But sitting idle and waiting for things to pass over doesn't always work. And it shouldn't work. And when I was younger, I made sure it didn't work for my situation. Threats were made. I learned later in life that they wanted to hold my diploma for some things I said at graduation. And I spoke to an assistant principal years later. He said they really wanted to hold your diploma, Brian. They were trying to figure out a way to do it. And he said, I told them they couldn't. He goes, and I didn't really have a problem with what you did, but a lot of other people did. So I'd be a hypocrite. Do I regret it? Not a single bone in my body regrets it. Period. I was right. So that will continue forward. It will continue at graduations. It will continue at board meetings. It will continue until truth prevails. And that's all.